ready. And so on this was my capstone for accounting. And something we focus on is sustainability goals. And I did not touch any of the Nike stuff because that's kind of sticky. So some of the sustainability goals and research we did was responsibility and consumption and production, and obviously climate action. Yeah. Okay, cool. And Adidas, as you already know yourself, it's footwear, apparel, sporting, and they even touch on gymnastics, swimming, golf, and even hockey. And mainly their productions are outsourced to 800 other independent global factories. And some of the things that I personally research on is Adidas SDG and ESG goals. And they have been in the DJSI, Dow Jones Sustainable Index, for a while. And that means they're doing things towards sustainable every single year to be qualified on that list. And that's phenomenal. And excuse the typo in terms of years. And one of their goals, eliminate virgin polyester. So essentially turning waste into yarn, and ideally plastic waste into yarn. And for their reduction of carbon footprint by 30%, that means for their productions and for their products, there's less than 2 kilograms of carbon footprint. And by 2050, carbon neutrality. So obviously they're not harming the earth. They're trying to actually improve by every product they produce. And some of the technologies that your guys are taking steps towards is the recycle loop. And that being said, to recycle polyesters, so using plastic waste and turning it into raw materials, and then circular loop, creating products that could be reused or break down easily to create another product. And ultimately, you want to get to a goal where you use up all the plastic, all the waste on the earth, and just strictly use regenerative loops. And that means very biodegradable. You can just casually throw in the yard bin and it'll just grow on its own and go back to its earth. And some of the things that their partnership they have are Parley, trying to save the ocean, and Allbirds, which is a very sustainable company in terms of trying to find a really techie casual shoes that is sustainable and really simple. And then Bolt Threads, a leather company that uses biodegradable plants to create this leather texture with its own durability. And as you can see, the efforts with Adidas and Parley is paying off as you started from 2017 with 5 mil, 10 mil, 11 year to 20, 30 mil in 2020. And I love where the trajectory of where this is going. Yeah, and I'm not going to bore you with the financial performance, but you can take a look at it. And obviously, a lot of companies such as a brick and mortar store have been taken through the pandemic. And if you check out the news, there's a huge supply chain disruption due to the Suez Canal. And obviously, it's hard to move inventory when there's huge supply chain issues and also to get them, import and export them. So a lot of cancellations with suppliers, a lot of postponing, a lot of which lead to increase in debt and reduce in profit naturally. And of course, closure a lot of stores because of the pandemic, because of the lockdown, shutdowns. So they had to force to take time to switch to the e-commerce world. And due to change of a lot of the customers' preference, people are more prone to sustainable products over something that could be a little bit cheaper, but not as sustainable. So Adidas created a 5-year plan and try to go using recyclable products and biodegradable options in production. So some of the risks that Adidas could run into, obviously, is it's really hard to make collaboration and expect profitability because some margins are just hard to hit and sometimes it's just for marketing. And obviously, it's really interesting to strategically partner with different brands and athletes and keep the customer interested. And I think some of the things that we all see is that you guys with Ninja, when Fortnite was popping off, there was a lot of exposure in that, and that Adidas entered in the esports world. And that's something that as an intern, I have a little bit more understanding of and I can contribute to. And so, and also economic policy, obviously the basic taxes, tariff, interest rates, which all these little factors really affect the profit margins. And so for Adidas, some of the things that we thought was really could be really difficult in the long-term supply chain. Having over 800 independent contractors or manufacturers is really hard to manage. Thus, it's really hard to maintain the good quality control that Adidas shoes could produce. And some of the opportunities for Adidas that we thought was really helpful is continue to maintain the customer and brand awareness, make sure that you're the forefront for many things, as in growing in e-commerce, continue to grow and push people to be active and expand the sportswear industry, continue to partner with people that you see aligned with the vision of impossible is nothing, continue to show support to a lot of movements in our society that was exposed during the pandemic and brought awareness, such as the Black Lives Matter, a lot of stop API hate, so there's less violence on the street regardless of your race, and continue to fight for things like breast cancer, and more importantly, continue to maintain the sponsorship in NHL and MLS. So continue to expand on that, continue to concentrate and penetrate a lot of the collegiate football teams, and then the product and quality will speak for itself. And most importantly, a lot of customers value eco-friendly brands and companies that take action towards SDG goals. And some of my recommendation is continue to monitor carbon accounting, reduce carbon tax so it doesn't hit the bottom line, continue to be monitoring greenhouse gas emission to ensure that the product you produce are not harming the earth. And most importantly, educating a lot of the customers in terms of, by the way, if you buy this product, these are things you're doing to help the earth. You're creating this job, you're not harming the earth through the product you purchase, continue to sustain resource. And, because there's only finite of resources on earth. So finding a way to be sustainable is just the longer and bigger picture, the right thing to do. And through that, continue to research and develop durable, environmentally friendly, biodegradable materials, and funding and doing partnership with different smaller startups that could potentially change the way we look at raw material reuse for any of our clothing products and shoes. And something that we can never overlook is affordable pricing. You want people to rock and be proud of it. And the last thing you want is create prices that are way out of people's reach, such as I think the starting stage of Ultra Boost when it was, or even MMD, it was so expensive that as a high schooler who was desperate for his first pair of adult shoes, it took many hours for me to get to it. And fortunately, I think it was all worth it because through that, I learned to continue to persevere and achieve what I want. And some of the ending notes I have is, I think with my previous experience with other internship, I increased the process efficiency in my internship. And some things I kind of grappled on is business process optimization, and just with doing a lot of tax returns and just various tasks I had to do. And I think something that I can contribute to is expanding on esports and continue my love for running and training and the outdoors. And just through that, I get to put in the work to improve myself, the projects, the mission of Adidas, and then every single day find ways to improve and make improvements for just those around me. And I think some example that kind of helped me grow was when I was injured. And I think with running, there's always a chance that one step or one stride you take could potentially lead to an injury. And I think you grow the most when you're in those dark places, and finding ways to power through it, finding a way to measure process, finding slowly and surely get back into running and get back into that lifestyle is something that I look forward to. And so thank you so much. And I know this was pretty long, and I just appreciate your time. And it's such a great opportunity to be considered as one of your applicants. And, let's go, Three Strike family. Have a good one.